A bit earlier, we were talking about the U.S. National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, and what he's been saying. He told CBS News that Israel has obligations under international law. Let's have a listen.
We have seen thousands of Palestinian civilians killed in this conflict, that is a tragedy. Each and every one of those individual deaths is a tragedy, and that the life of every civilian, Palestinian, Israeli, anyone, is sacred and has to be protected. And it is important for Israel to distinguish between going after terrorist targets to take out terrorists who continue to threaten Israel and going after civilians. That is an obligation and a responsibility for Israel, and it's something that we will continue to press them on.
Let's cross live now to Washington, D.C. Rob Reynolds is standing by. And Rob, tell us what more he had to say.
Well, Jake Sullivan also indicated that President Biden would be on the phone speaking to Prime Minister Netanyahu later today. The president's also expected to talk to regional leaders, although Sullivan didn't specify which leaders that he would be talking to, for discussions that would, at least in part, involve the some 600 or so U.S. citizens who are currently trapped under the bombing in Gaza. And he said that the administration is committed to getting those people out if they want to leave. Now, a lot of discussion here in the past hour about Israel's obligations under international law and whether international pressure could be brought to bear. Certainly, if it's true that the administration, as Sullivan has been saying, is trying to thread this needle between giving Israel the leeway that it wants to attack Hamas, and on the other side, urging Israel, trying to persuade Israel not to excessively target civilians or to cause civilian casualties. That might be something that comes up in these discussions later today. But really, when one talks about international law, where is the international legal police force? Who enforces international law? It's really not that kind of a law. It's an entirely different law that involves international public perception and public pressure. There have been, of course, as we've noted, demonstrations, popular demonstrations in many places around Europe, the Middle East, and even here in the United States. But all of that does not amount to the kind of intervention that some people are calling for on the part of the international community against Israel. I don't know exactly what sort of intervention that would be. Certainly not military, and it's certainly very unlikely that the United States is going to cut off the supply of munitions or the billions of dollars that it provides to Israel yearly.
All right, Rob, thanks for that update. Rob Reynolds there at Washington, D.C.